Hey, it's Kim Commando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. Okay, you might remember last year I mentioned a dating app by the name of Score. Why did they call it Score? Well, in order to be on this dating app, you needed a credit score of at least 675. Now, it was supposed to be just like this 90-day pop-up test, but everybody loved it. And they just shut it down, but they gathered some interesting data. As it turns out, millennials had the highest credit scores, right? Now, what about men versus women? Men had an 11% higher credit score than women on the dating app. That's a pretty big gap. Yeah, those women couldn't even get a loan at the library. And on that happy note, welcome everyone. I'm Kim Commando, America's beloved digital goddess, here with you once again. And let me tell you, you're about ready to get more tech smarts, because if you are not tech ahead, you will be left behind, totally in the dust. And just a quick reminder that you can find my award-winning show on over 420 top radio stations. We're streaming in your favorite radio app. And brand new, you can get the Kim Commando Show as a podcast. So wherever you get your podcast, just search for my last name with a K, of course. All right, great sponsors help to make this show possible. And I always negotiate a money-saving deal with them. So to see all the deals and get all the links that you need, just head over to commando.com/sponsors. All right, it's my labor of love. Every single day, I just go to a slew of websites. I talk to industry insiders to make sure that we know exactly what's happening in the tech world and how we can stay safer, and how do we protect our privacy, and what's big tech doing. And here are the top 5 things you need to know that are happening right now. And we're going to start with yet another data breach. This time, it's ADT. They were forced to admit to the Securities and Exchange Commission that they got hacked. Now, here's the deal. They won't say when. They won't say what the cyber thieves got, other than some names and addresses. But is ADT, your home business, really protected? I mean, this is a big red flag, right? I mean, this is a security company. My point is, when confidential customer information is stolen, that company should do what? They should notify its customers immediately. It should tell them exactly what was stolen, what you need to do to protect yourself. Instead, ADT customers got informed months after the fact. And some of you may be learning about this right now for the first time. Okay. This is no way to run a security company, one that holds the passcodes to just millions of American homes. All right, let's talk about Venmo or PayPal next. If you have money sitting in cash apps, or worse, your employer pays you directly through one of these apps, your money is definitely at risk. Because here's the deal. Money in a legitimate bank, of course, is fully insured up to $250,000 by the government's FDIC. You know that. But you have to remember that cash apps are not banks. Should they get hacked and your money taken, you have no recourse. That's just it. So these cash apps are okay for, say, the immediate transfer of small amounts of money, but do not leave your money sitting in these apps. Just don't do that. All right, moving on to number 3. What was the world like 80 years ago? Let's all go back in time. The world was in the middle of World War II. Radios were the main source of news. TVs existed, but no one really owned one. Big band music. Oh, everybody loved it. Now, with that in mind, I want you to think about what an average American has been through in the last 80 years. And now we're going to throw artificial intelligence on top of that to say, okay, here's how you use AI. Here's how it can better your life. Here's what's going on. So when I read this story, I thought to myself, what a great idea. Senior centers all across the country, Chicago, Atlanta, Charleston, are now hosting free AI workshops to help our older adults get to know the AI tools and how they can use them and what they can do with it. So if you think you're confused about AI, or if you know someone who needs to take one of these classes, just look it up, pass on the know-how, or you can always call me. I'm here for you. All right, coming in at number 4, let's talk about Roblox. When my son was much younger, boy, I'll tell you, he and his friends, they just loved that online game called Roblox. It was a safe place for kids, but not today. If you have kids on Roblox, you just have to know it's become a very dangerous place. Since 2006, Roblox has been this major online game. 78 million use it a few times a week. You could say it's the world's largest recreation zone online for kids. But to be blunt, Roblox has a pedophile problem. Of these 78 million, 30 million are younger than 13. So what's happening is that pedophiles, those sickos, pretend to be kids, and they are luring these innocent children through poorly monitored online chats. So the owners of Roblox could make it safer. They could police the entire network more carefully, but they don't. So, word to the wise, very young children should not be on Roblox. Just say no, be a strong parent. And finally, this coming in at number 5. Oh, let me tell you, for more than 4 years, I have managed, yes, to keep the world's most spoiled and entitled couple. I'm talking about the prince formerly known as Harry and Meghan, completely out of my show until today. Their latest stunt has got my attention. And let's go back in time. After Meghan failed with her Spotify podcast, I think she did one, Harry failed to rally the British or American sport after his disgraceful book. And then we have the implosion of Meghan's jelly, jams, and dog biscuit business, like she's trying to copy Goop. They've thrown out yet another dumb idea. This time it's called the Parents Network. Oh, how great to save all the children by warning parents about the dangers of social media. Okay, except you guys are too late. We already know about social media's dangers. Meghan's Archwell charity supports this thing, and Archwell has a bad rap. It's not transparent. It won't say where the money goes, but I'm sure we all have a pretty good idea. All right, let's get started with all of your phone calls. And how about we begin with Anna in Phoenix, Arizona. Hi there, Anna.
Hey, how are you?
I'm wonderful. What's going on?
I'm a grandma, and I want to share a story that happened to me concerning my grandson and a telephone call. Okay. I was coming home from a doctor appointment, and my phone is connected through the Jeep, the car, and the phone number rang. The phone rang, and it was a weird phone call, and a weird phone number, not a local area number here in Arizona.
Okay.
I used to be in the mortgage business, so I know all the area codes. And the phone call goes, I answered the phone and I said, hello. And he said, Grandma, I've been arrested. My nose is bleeding, and I've been in a car accident. And I said, well, where are you? And he said, well, I've been arrested. I'm downtown in jail. And I said, and it sounded like my grandson. I couldn't get over how much it sounded like my grandson.
Wow.
And he says, I've been arrested, and I need for the public defender's office is going to call you. And he gave me this phone number, and he says, and here's my case, my docket number, and he gave me all these numbers. And I looked at I looked at the area code, and I said, something's wrong here. And he said, Grandma, please don't tell my family. I'm so embarrassed that I've been arrested. He said, please don't call, don't do that. Don't call my parents. So he said the DA, the public defender, is going to call you here in a few minutes. So please wait please wait for the phone call. Mm-hmm. So he hung up, and I know my son has an iPhone, and my grandson's a teenager, and he has a tracker on it. So I called my son, and he told me that JJ was at home, and so but the public defender called me back, and he called me from a 807 area code. Mm-hmm. And I said to him, why are you calling me, if you're from the public defender's office, why are you calling me from an area code that's not in the Phoenix area? If he's downtown jail, why aren't you? He says, well, I'm using my personal phone number. And I said, since when does the public defender's office allow you to use your own phone number? And with that, he hung up on me. But
Wow.
the thing is, you got to watch, be the area codes and be proactive. And I later learned that in situations like that, family needs to have some type of family code so that when you have the person on the phone that's claiming to be your grandson, you ask them the family code, and that way you know it's a fake right away. I knew it was a fake because of the because of the area code.
Having that family code is super important, Anna. It is. And it's just maybe it's a 4-digit number, it's a word, whatever it may be, so that this way, if you do get a phone call like this, and it sounds just like your grandson, right, Anna? I mean, it sounded like him, right?
I couldn't believe it, and. I said, Grandma, and I said, JJ, and I thought that's who it was, because
for sure, and they don't need a lot of time, to deep fake somebody's voice. I mean, they can deep fake a voice with, say, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, and with kids having so much of their lives on social media, it's pretty easy for them to grab some audio, to duplicate a voice. Then to do just some basic work, maybe look at a Facebook account and you figure out who grandma is, and then you can track down that phone number. And, you have to be on the ball, folks. You do. And Anna, you're smart. I'm glad that you didn't fall for it. You did the number one thing. You call, you see where they are, you see where they're located. Anna, thank you for your call today and for sharing your story. And hopefully we saved a whole bunch of people from falling for the same scam. And, think about this. Come up with a secret word, a secret code, something that just in your family. So in case you do get a phone call, a video, whatever it may be, and you're like, is this legit? Is that you can always ask, what's the secret word? They don't know it. You're getting scammed. All right, let's see who's next. Ronald in Caldwell, Idaho. Hi there, Ron.
Hi. Hey, what I've got is a question concerning an ad I keep seeing when I'm playing my game apps, and that is a plant identification app that also tells you how to give your plant better health. Mm-hmm. And then I've seen it for 2 or 3 different companies. So I've got 2-part question. Number one, can it really do that? Can it really tell me my plant needs more coffee? Or And if it does, which of all these apps are good and which are just, come on?
Well, it's interesting because with the advent of facial recognition technology and now other type of recognition technology, if it's just a plant that you're trying to identify, you probably don't even need an app. And that's because you can use Google Lens, and that's free from Google. And you can just take a picture of it, tells you exactly what it is. And then if you're on an iPhone, the same thing is possible using the Apple Photo app. You take a picture of something, you hit the big letter I, and then bingo, tells you what it is. Now, if you're looking for more than that, that's where, as you mentioned, there are like several out there. There's Plant Snap, there's Picture This, there's Plant Ticks, and there's something called iNaturalist. Now, if you are looking for which one that I would probably look at is the iNaturalist. It has millions of observations. It shows you insects and birds and plants, and then you can learn different ways to take care of your plants, and you just open up your camera, you start taking a look at it, whatever it may be. And these are really fun apps. Now, you may not like that one. And so that's why before you pay for any app, there's always a free trial. And that's what's nice about these apps. You get at least a free try before you actually have to start paying for it. And then you want to pay attention to what exactly that you're paying for. So if they start charging you for a monthly fee to start identifying plants, and unless you're doing this every single day when you're out on a walk, I'd probably say no to it. Again, the other ones that you want to take a look at is Plant Snap, Picture This, and then the one that I think you might want to take a look at first is called iNaturalist. And as I mentioned, it's really great for identify plants and animals, and it kind of has a game to it, which might be kind of fun for you to check out as well. And Ron, thank you for your call. Oh, speaking of plants, let me tell you, I accidentally planted the wrong flowers in my garden. Yeah. Oopsie daisies. Ooh, I know. That one even hurt me. It's a tough one. All right, let's talk about checks. Are you still mailing checks? Well, now's the time to go paperless. Why? Because check fraud has doubled within the past year. But here's the deal. People may be writing fewer checks, but this is really interesting. The amount on the checks have actually increased. The current average check amount clocks in at around $2,600. So that's enough to make a criminal want to go through your mailbox and start stealing your mail and your identity. And they target envelopes that look like checks being mailed or bill payments. So now's the time to play it super safe. If you do need to write a check, what I want you to do is use a security pen. It's also known as a check washing pen. If you're not sure what they look like, what the brand is, just head over to commando.com because we've got links to these pens over on Amazon. Now, these pens are different. They use a specially formulated ink that gets trapped inside the paper. Okay, this makes it super hard for criminals to wash or erase whatever you've written there. And you have a few more steps to take, all right? You want to monitor your accounts. I know so many of you are sitting there like, oh, I don't have any money in the bank. I don't have to worry about that. I know, and then maybe you're even afraid to balance your checkbook, okay? You have to be really super protective of your checking account and your banking number. And, just do everybody a favor. Secure your mailbox. Make sure that you don't leave mail in there, for weeks on a time. If you can get a mailbox with a lock on it, that's even better.
Marketing is hard. But I'll tell you a little secret. It doesn't have to be. Let me point something out. You're listening to a podcast right now, and it's great. You love the host. You seek it out and download it. You listen to it while driving, working out, cooking, even going to the bathroom. Podcasts are a pretty close companion. And this is a podcast ad. Did I get your attention? You can reach great listeners like yourself with podcast advertising from Libsyn Ads. Choose from hundreds of top podcasts offering host endorsements or run a pre-produced ad like this one across thousands of shows to reach your target audience in their favorite podcasts with Libsyn Ads. Go to libsynads.com, that's Libsyn, ads.com today.
Hey, coming up, we have 2 sites to get gift cards at a discount, and then later on, how you can use your phone to actually find spy cams. And before we get to that and more of your phone calls, let's talk about your Amazon Echo. Because not everyone knows that the Amazon Echo can do more than, say, just turn on the lights, give you the weather, or play your music. It actually has a microphone that can listen in for the sound of a smoke alarm, carbon monoxide alarm, or glass breaking when you're not home. And when it happens, you're going to get a notification. But here's the deal. This feature requires a subscription to Amazon's Alexa Emergency Assist. And this costs money. It costs $6 a month or $59 a year. And then once you're subscribed, you can say, Alexa, I'm leaving, and that will turn on Alexa Guard when you head out, and also Alexa, I'm home when you get back home. But here's the deal. At $6 a month, $59 a year just for that, you are totally better off just getting a full-on security system. Now, SimpliSafe Kim is the system I use and I recommend. Once again, that's simplysafekim.com. And they are a sponsor of the show, by the way. All right, aside from the show, I host an incredibly popular podcast called Kim Commando Today. And you can find it wherever you get your podcasts. And it's a chance for me to get to talk to some really interesting people, like Kat. Kat Callahan is known for her work as a radio host and a voiceover artist, but she has a huge presence on TikTok. She's the person behind one of TikTok's most popular text-to-speech voices. Okay, and totally went viral when she revealed this on TikTok. So I sat down, I talked to her about all this. Here, take a listen.
Hello, have you heard this voice before? This is Jessie, the most popular text-to-speech voice on TikTok. And no, this isn't voiced by a robot. It's voiced by a real woman, Kat Callahan. She's joining us today to tell us what it's like to hear her voice everywhere.
All right, Kat, come on board.
Thank you for having me. No, I'm kidding. I won't do the whole interview like that, I promise.
How did you get the gig? How did they choose your voice over all other female voices?
I don't know to be honest with you, I'm not sure how many people were up for this gig. But it was one of those things I just learned that I got it. And then, it was just like off to the races.
How many different words did you have to say? And I'm so curious about this. Was it sentences that they had you read, or was it just combustible, Kellogg's?
Well,
There's lots of different ways that you can do it. It's funny. I speak often to the original voice of Siri. Her name's Susan. She's a great lady.
That's weird that you and Siri are friends.
I know.
That's kind of creepy.
It is kind of creepy. And I know who Alexa is, but she's not allowed to say it. But yeah, so I've spoken with all these people who do these things for a living because, yes, there's real humans behind all of them. But it's interesting how the way that she did it, as I heard it, wasn't exactly my gig with TikTok, which it's one of those things. When you work for these companies and you do this voiceover work, they're understandably very sensitive about what they do. And there's a lot of competition out there. So I can't speak on everything that I've done and give you guys details. However, it was definitely different than anything I'd ever done before.
So how many videos do you think your voice is on?
Oh, it's got to be billions.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would say it's in the billions for sure.
How many different voices do they have?
Lots in there now.
Yeah.
There were, when it started out, there was not many to choose from. And now I feel like they also swap them in and out. And there's a side app called CapCut. And that's actually also owned by ByteDance. So they have a bunch more voices in there that you're able to get to too. So depending on which one you use, which platform, I would say dozens at this point.
Did you make a conscious choice to change your voice? Or was it TikTok's request to say we want it higher, we want it faster or slower? Actually, it is pretty slow if you think about it. Was that your choice or was that what TikTok wanted?
Yeah, I mean, really, that was the job, was to deliver that voice just like that. And whatever they did, it was smart. Like I said, I thought at first it was ridiculous. I'm like, no one's going to want to listen to this annoying voice. This is going to be awful. But people started to use it more and more, and it caught on quite a bit.
And so obviously you would not be allowed to be the voice of an Amazon product, right?
Well, I mean, if they want to talk, I'm willing to talk to them. And see
Good answer.
Do you have to go in and update continuously? Like they find words or sentence structure that it's not working with the text to speech and you have to go in and update it?
Well, the cool thing about text-to-speech technology is it's changing so rapidly. Like even from when I first started working with TikTok up until now, there's new ways, new platforms. You need less and less speech. I mean, back in the day, apparently you used to have to record hours and hours and hours of content, yes. Right? Yeah, like we've maybe all been there in the voiceover world where we're doing these jobs that takes a lot of time. And now you can literally put your voice into something for 30 seconds and they're trying to replicate your own voice for you. So we've come a long, long way for sure, but it's still not a perfect technology at all.
No, I mean, we've all tried to make a TikTok video and you put in one word and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't sound.
Figure it out yet. Did you make good money? Do you get residuals? Like you're the voice of TikTok.
Yeah, I will say that I'm very happy working with TikTok, very much so. And I will say on top of just working for TikTok, it's opened up so many doors for me and given me such great opportunity. I mean, look at me. I'm sitting here speaking with you lovely people right now. So it's been able to give me the chance to chat with different people and to do, I have a sleep story on the Calm app. I don't know if you guys know the Calm app.
Sure, yeah.
But it's like the meditation. So stuff like that I've been able to do, which by the way, I auditioned to be a voice on the Calm app before this. And then they reached out to me for my own story. And I was like, you guys did not give me a job a while back, but that's fine. I'll have my own story that's called Kat Callahan's story. So they kind of got a chuckle out of that.
So, every once in a while, I'll be someplace. And I don't know if this happens to you, Andrew, but, I'll be at like the grocery store and I'll start talking. And then somebody will whip their head around and go, I know who you are. Yeah. I know who you are. Okay. Has that ever happened to you, Kat?
Yeah, it has happened to me. And it used to be just a radio thing and a very local thing. So I would be, somewhere and people would be like, hey, I know you from the radio show. And now when they give me those looks, I don't know if they know me from TikTok or they know me from the radio world. But if I travel, I definitely know it's got to be a TikTok thing. So I'll sometimes just say hello and because they'll just usually give me looks. And some will be straight up like, that's the voice of TikTok in the middle of the street. And I'm just like, hi.
Did you get to pick the name Jessie?
No, I did not pick the name Jessie.
Because
I should have just went with Kat. Yeah, that's so much better.
Yes, Kat. Kat's great.
Kat Callahan.
Kat Callahan.
I'm bringing that to the next meeting.
Next contract negotiation.
Yes.
You want double the money and you want the character to be named Kat.
Now, you can listen to our entire chat on Kim Komando today, wherever you get your podcast. And you can also watch this entire interview over at my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Kim Komando. Hey, if you know where to look online, you can buy gift cards for just about any store at a discount. You can buy a $20 Target gift card for only $18. But you have to know the gotchas. When you're buying gift cards online, you can go directly to the site. But here's the secret. There are specialty sites that sell gift cards at a discount. But whatever you do, do not Google discount gift cards. You're going to get scammed. Two legitimate sites that sell discounted gift cards are cardcash.com and raise.com. Now, there is a risk that scammers may have access to these numbers. So if you buy any discounted gift card online, be sure that you redeem the amount as soon as possible. And if you have gift cards laying around that you're not using, these sites will buy the unused gift cards too. The sites again, cardcash.com and raise.com. All right, let's see. Chad in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Hi there, Chad.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful. What's going on?
I have a problem that I have a business, and it's an automobile repair shop, and I have an office and some bays, and I have a door, little doorbell, one of those wireless things that goes ding dong whenever somebody opens the door.
Got it.
Now, however, if I'm in the back room or, a car's running or something, I can't hear that. So what I'd like to do is I have a Galaxy S23 and a Samsung watch that I have paired with it. And there are so many different cameras and everything that I've noticed, and I have no idea which one to pick or what I'm looking for. I'd like to put a camera up that just monitors the door, that'll maybe ring my watch and maybe provide video whenever somebody comes in.
Which is nice, right? I mean, that's
Absolutely,
good. So that, and then, maybe you want to store the videos. And if you had another device, you could actually say, you could actually talk to that person if you wanted to from your watch to say, I'll be right there, right?
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
So, so the good news is that all this is really possible, and it's not going to be this major technical nightmare in order to set it all up. We're not talking about stringing cables. We're just talking about putting in one indoor camera that will ring alerts, and it will notify your phone. It'll notify your watch, and so that this way you can get video previews. You can turn off the camera and mic, and do things like that, if that's what you wanted to. So, there's a lot of different options out there, but I asked our very own IT genius, John, this question because you sent me an email, and I'm like, hey, John, what would you think would be the best thing for Chad? And he sent me a link to a new Amazon camera and I'll send you a link to it, that is which is a Ring indoor camera, and he said it's going to notify your phone, your watch, and it's very easy to set up too, and it works with Alexa. And so, just, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the link to that. And then if you have any trouble setting this up, Chad, or you need some help, or you're like, well, this is not exactly what I want, because I want you to really look at the specs, but I think this is what you need. And again, it's just a Ring indoor camera, a Ring doorbell indoor camera, rather. But I think it's going to be just perfect for whatever you've got going on there with being under the cars and not hearing it, and good things like that. And again, it's like $60. And Chad, thank you for your call. All right, let's see. Susie in Fort Worth, Texas. Hello there, Susie.
Hi, Kim. I'm so excited to speak with you. I've been receiving your newsletters for almost 25 years now. So,
wow.
I have a folder in my inbox just for Kim Commando daily emails that I can use for future reference.
Well, thank you, Susie. That's awfully nice of you.
My favorite memory of Kim Commando of all the emails you sent out was when you were raided by SWAT. When your house was raided by SWAT.
Oh, gosh. That was a nightmare, Susie. Oh, my gosh. Because we were targeted by the Chilean gangs.
It was so awesome.
Yeah. For you, when the SWAT team wasn't coming at your door, okay.
It wasn't for you, that's right. I would have probably had a heart attack.
So how can I help
you?
My
question to you is I have done investing in crowdfunding platforms for many, many, many years. And so when I see something I'm interested in, I continue to invest in it. And I saw something a couple of months ago that I thought was worth looking into, and I received my product, but it requires an app. And when I got ready to download the app, it, like, just for a split second, there were Chinese characters that came up on the screen. And as soon as I saw them, I immediately deleted everything. But I've contacted them to ask them if they have any connection with China, but I have not heard back from them yet.
Oh, it's hard to it's hard to say why those Chinese characters would be there at the when you first open up the app. Other than maybe it was originally a Chinese-based app and then they changed it to English.
Okay.
You could, if you ever have any questions about an app, what I do is I look at the reviews, whether it's on Google Play or on Apple in the App Store, and look at the ratings and really read the reviews. And be in mind that, and be mindful that some of these may be fake reviews, especially if you see like a whole bunch of really positive reviews in a row. Normally that means that they're fake. And so, but look at the reviews of this particular app, and in Google Play, you might see more than what you'll see on Apple, because with Google Play, it just seems that you get more votes and you get more reviews on Google Play than you do on Apple. I'm not sure that's why. I mean, because, we're kind of depending upon the market and depending upon the product. But anytime you have any question about whether or not it's safe to install an app, really, just go ahead and take a look at the reviews on both, on either, actually both. Take a look at the reviews on both Google Play and the Apple App Store and kind of get the lowdown there. You can also just do a Google search for the name of the app and the word review, and you can find some intel that way too. Yeah, crowdfunding is still pretty big. It really is. I mean, you still have all the Kickstarter projects that are going on, but you never really know if you're going to get the product at the end. I mean, that's always the downside when you start getting into crowdfunding. Hey, do you ever get the feeling that something or someone is watching you? The truth is that spy devices could be anywhere, but thanks to technology, cameras have gotten so very small, which makes them so, easy to hide. Now, some of the top spots to check, we're talking about electrical outlets, smoke detectors, but this is nuts. Even TV remotes can have a hidden spy cam. Now, luckily, it is possible to use your phone to spot these creepy cameras. First, what you want to do is open your phone's camera app and then switch to the front-facing camera. Turn off the lights in the room, and then just walk around. What you're looking for are any white flashes. That could be a hidden camera's infrared light. And if it still doesn't feel right, you can go ahead and buy an RF detector. I like the anti-spy detector on Amazon. It sells for around $40. Here's how it works. The tool picks up radio frequency signals from devices like wireless cameras and, say, audio listening devices. Now, one thing, you have to turn off all the electrical devices first. Now, if you do find anything that's hidden, well, what you want to do is call the police, especially if you're in a rental property, because, that's what really has caused Airbnb's big downfall, are the creepy hosts and all the hidden cameras. If you need some more steps, just go ahead and go over to commando.com. And don't forget, get my newsletter. You can sign up at getkim.com.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.